It was one of the most humiliating experiences of my life.
If you're not happy here, you can leave.
I'm asking him if we're going to have an intimate marriage. I don't know.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most inspiring transformations reality TV has ever shown us. You know, some stories grab you and just don't let go. Not because they're dramatic or flashy, but because they are real, raw, and full of heart. Kody Brown from Sister Wives is one of those stories. Her journey is not only about losing weight, it's about finding herself again. It's about breaking free from years of feeling stuck. And it's about proving that it's never too late to start over. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, because we are going to take a closer look at how Kody went from a life that was slowly draining her to the confident, glowing, unstoppable woman we see today. You know, some transformations stop you in your tracks. Not because they're purely physical, but because they carry a deeper meaning, a story about resilience, rediscovery, and reclaiming your life when you thought the script was already written. And when it comes to Kody Brown from Sister Wives, her transformation isn't just about losing weight, it is about breaking free from a life that was holding her back for years. What you are about to hear isn't just a weight loss story. It is a journey of courage, of finding joy again, and of proving to yourself that you're worth the fight. And honestly, the way it all unfolded might surprise you. So get comfy, because we are going to walk through Kody's transformation from the moment the cracks started to show to the unstoppable, glowing woman she's become today. If you've been watching Sister Wives since the very beginning, you'll remember the Kody we first met in Season 1, Episode 1. She was bubbly, nurturing, and the one who seemed to keep things light whenever tension built between the other wives. In those early days, the family was still in Lehi, Utah, living in that close-knit cul-de-sac-style neighborhood. Kody's role was almost like the glue holding everything together. And that's not just me saying it. Go back to Season 1, Episode 4, where she's making that massive family dinner, joking with the kids, and keeping things moving even though you can tell she's tired. That was Kody, always giving, always upbeat, even when she was clearly stretched thin. But here's what's important. Even back then, the cracks were starting to show. In Season 6, Episode 7, when the family had moved to Las Vegas, Kody started voicing that she didn't feel like an equal partner in her marriage to Kody. There's a moment in Season 8, Episode 2, where Kody announces a plan that clearly didn't line up with Kody's wishes, and the camera catches her face that split-second look of disappointment, frustration, and maybe even resignation. That look says more than words ever could. Over the years, we also saw how little time Kody had for herself. She was raising 6 kids, navigating the complexities of plural marriage, and still trying to be the fun wife. But behind the smile, her health was taking a hit. In Season 10, Episode 5, when the family is adjusting to Flagstaff, Kody talks about being overwhelmed. She's sitting in her kitchen talking to the camera about how stressful the move has been, and you can see she's carrying more than just the physical load of moving boxes. She's carrying years of emotional strain. Now, here's the thing: being on reality TV means every change in your appearance is noticed and talked about. Kody's weight became a topic of public commentary, whether she wanted it or not. But for years, she brushed it off. She was focused on keeping the family going, not on gym memberships or diet plans. That started to change in subtle ways as her marriage with Kody began to unravel. One of the most pivotal moments came in Season 15, Episode 10. Kody is standing in her yard talking to the cameras and says she can't do marriage with Kody anymore. You can hear it in her voice. This isn't just frustration over an argument. This is the sound of someone realizing they've been living a life that doesn't feel like theirs anymore. That moment, right there, was the start of her real transformation. When Kody moved back to Utah in 2021, you could already see the change. Even before she'd lost significant weight, her whole presence was different. Go check her first Instagram live from her new Utah home. She's laughing more, her shoulders aren't hunched, and fans were already commenting on how happy she looks. And that's the key here. Her transformation didn't start with the gym. It started with the decision to choose herself. Once Kody was back in Utah, she wasn't just unpacking boxes, she was unpacking years of emotional baggage. And here's where the magic happens. When you remove yourself from an environment that's constantly draining you, your body and mind finally have the space to heal. Kody had been living in a situation where she was giving 90% of her energy to everyone else, and now that energy was coming back to her. Her social media started to change. In early 2022, we saw her posting short videos from her kitchen, not the chaotic, feed a small army dinners we saw in Season 3, Episode 9, but colorful, healthy meals she was clearly enjoying making. Grilled chicken with bright veggies, fresh salads with homemade dressings. Little things, but they signaled a shift. Christine was cooking for Christine now, not just for the crowd. Around this time, she also started sharing glimpses of movement, and not in the new year, new me kind of way. This was consistent, joyful activity. One fan-favorite Instagram story showed her on a morning hike in Utah's Wasatch Mountains with Truly, both laughing and out of breath. That's a far cry from the Christine we saw in Season 14, Episode 4, sitting in a tense family meeting, barely speaking and looking worn down. The physical results didn't happen overnight, but by mid-2022, fans were noticing. Outfits started changing. Gone were the baggy, oversized sweaters that had become her comfort shield. Instead, she began wearing fitted tops, brighter colors, and jeans that actually showed her figure. If you compare her confessional look from Season 16, Episode 2, to her Instagram post just a year later, it's like looking at two different women. Reports began circulating that Christine had lost more than 50 pounds. And while that's impressive, the real story is how she did it. She's never claimed to have some secret hack. From what she's shared, it was a combination of cleaner eating, regular movement, and this is the underrated part: happiness. You can't underestimate how much stress affects your health. Now, of course, the internet had to speculate. Some people claimed she'd had weight loss surgery. Others suggested cosmetic treatments. And maybe she did get some help, there's no shame in that. But here's the reality. No surgery can give you the consistency to keep the weight off. No cosmetic procedure can put that spark back in your eyes. That's all Christine. Her return to the show in Season 17, Episode 1 is one of my favorite moments to compare. She walks into a scene with Janelle, wearing a leather jacket, hairstyled, and she's just radiating confidence. That's not the energy of someone trying to prove something to an ex. That's the energy of someone who's genuinely happy. And speaking of happy, we can ignore the role her new relationship has played in her transformation. Christine met David Woolley in late 2022, and their relationship went public in early 2023. The difference was immediate. In almost every photo with David, Christine is leaning in, laughing, and fully relaxed. Compare that to the stiff, awkward body language we saw in group photos with Kody during Season 15's later episodes. It's night and day. David supports her lifestyle changes too. They've been seen hiking together, attending events, and traveling, all activities that keep Christine moving and engaged. When your partner is on the same page about health and joy, it's a game changer. And the fans? They've been eating it up, no pun intended. The comment sections on Christine A.'s posts are filled with encouragement. You have inspired me to start walking again. Seeing you this happy makes my heart full. And you're proof it's never too late to put yourself first. It is also worth noting that Christine hasn't tried to present herself as a perfect health guru. She's open about still enjoying comfort food, about having days where she doesn't feel like working out. And that's what makes her story relatable. It's not all or nothing. It's about balance. By late 2023, the transformation was undeniable. She attended events wearing bold, form-fitting dresses, posting photos that showed a woman not just confident in her body, but confident in her place in life. And this is where Christine's journey starts to spill over into something bigger than weight loss. Her transformation has inspired conversations among fans about self-worth, boundaries, and how environment affects health. It is not just about calories in and out, it is about creating a life that supports your well-being from every angle. And Christine has shown that in real time. By the time we get to her appearances in Season 18, Christine is almost unrecognizable compared to the woman we first met in 2010. And I don't just mean physically. There's an openness in her expression, a confidence in the way she stands, even a playfulness in her voice that had been missing for years. You can tell she's not bracing for the next comment, the next awkward conversation, or the next disappointment. She's just living. One of the standout moments from that season is the parking lot chat with Janelle. Christine leans against her car, laughing in that big, contagious way we've all missed, talking about her plans and her excitement for the future. It's such a sharp contrast to the Christine we saw in Season 15, Episode 8, sitting quietly in a tense family meeting, barely speaking, eyes cast down. That's what a mental and emotional reset looks like. And that's the thing. Christine Arias' weight loss is only the visible part of the transformation. The real change is in her mindset. She's no longer living life as someone else's supporting character. She's the lead in her own story now. And when you own that role, everything about you changes the way you move, the way you talk, even the way you smile. The ripple effect of Christine's journey has been huge. On TikTok, there are compilation videos of her glow up with hundreds of thousands of views. On Instagram, entire fan accounts are dedicated to tracking her transformation. And the comments? They are full of people who feel like they've been given permission to change their own lives. Women in their 40s and 50s saying, "If Christine can do it after all she's been through, I can too." Christine has also used her platform to subtly shift the conversation around health and happiness. She's not selling diet shakes or pretending she's perfect. Instead, she shares the real stuff, the joy of cooking with her kids, the pride in finishing a hike, the fun of trying on a dress she never would have worn 5 years ago. It's health as a lifestyle, not a punishment. And while fans love the physical glow-up, they also love the emotional one. In interviews, Christine has talked about feeling free, about finally having the space to be herself without worrying about someone else's approval. In one 2023 interview clip that made the rounds on fan pages, she said, "I just decided I deserved to be happy. And once I made that decision, everything else started to change." That's the kind of quote people screenshot and save on their phones. Her relationship with David Woolley has been the cherry on top. Not because she needed a man to complete her, but because it is so obvious that she is in a partnership where she is valued. That matters. A lot. In photos with David, Christine looks comfortable, affectionate, and completely at ease. It's the exact opposite of the guarded, tense posture we used to see in family portraits with Kody. Now here's where I think Christine's story really hits home. It is proof that it is never too late to start over. We've all heard that phrase before, but she's living proof of it. She left a decades-long relationship, rebuilt her home base, reconnected with her kids in a new way, started prioritizing her health, and opened herself up to love again, all in her late 40s. That's powerful. And maybe that's why her transformation resonates so deeply, because for a lot of people watching, it's not just about weight loss. It is about the idea that you can walk away from something that's not serving you, even if it's been your reality for a long time, and step into something better. So if you were sitting there thinking about the changes you want to make, whether it's your health, your relationships, your career, or your whole lifestyle, let Christine's journey be your reminder. You don't need the perfect timing. You don't need to have every step mapped out. You just need to start. Because at the end of the day, the weight Christine lost was only one part of the story. The real transformation happened in her heart and mind. She stopped living for someone else's approval and started living for herself. And when you do that, everything else, the health, the confidence, the joy, falls into place. So here's to Kody Brown, not just for the pounds she's lost, but for the life she's gained. And here's to anyone watching this who's ready to take that first step. Your story isn't over. In fact, it might just be about to get good. And that's Christine's powerful journey so far. From heartbreak to happiness, from feeling invisible to shining brighter than ever. Her story is a reminder that you can always take your life back, no matter how long it's been. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop a new Sister Wives story. And stick around, because in the next episode, we'll break down another chapter in this family's journey that you want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.